Thanks to Will and Corey for having me, and thank you guys for being here in the room, and thanks to everybody who's online, because we are streaming to Twitch, which we'll be talking about a little bit today, because it is my background. This is Appealing to Press, a super duper unofficial guide, because I am here as a human being speaking, and not as a representative of my company. Who am I? I work for Twitch currently. I'm a community marketing manager there, but I'm also a producer for event shows like TwitchCon, or E3, and PAX East, PAX West, PAX Australia, and lots of other ones that do exist in that sphere. Previously, I worked for GameSpot.com. We're a review website. I was a producer for edited features and also live streams and events. Those are some of my favorite ones. I like the bottom picture because that is from E3, and it shows you how many people work to make that live show happen. It's a lot. There are many of us. One of the main things I want to convey to you guys today is that Twitch relies on a combination of top talent and the best content to be the place to be for online entertainment. So what does that mean? It means that if we don't have the best games, we're missing out, we're losing, we're not who we should be. We want your games. We want the best games, and we want streamers to stream them. Streamers get streamer fatigue. I talk to them all the time. It's a part of my job, and they get really bored playing Apex Legends every day. They are seeking content. Some of the work that we do at shows is to try and show them new types of things to stream so that they can play something new and enjoy it. When I seek out games for events, I typically find them through 3 different ways: publishers, PR, and events and outreach. Publishers, you might have heard a little bit from Corey. I've worked extensively with Devolver, Humble, Tiny Build, Annapurna, many others. We love them. We love when they reach out. We look at everything that they give us. They're trusted because we've had their stuff before, and they bring us good stuff. You can see us on the right there with one of the games that we found there. PR reps, those are some that I actually have worked with in the past. I do like them. Tara Bruno PR, Papagenda, there's several others on there. They're great, and they're worth doing your research on if you're interested in these. I super advocate going with a PR company that knows what they're doing. It makes the whole process so much smoother. I also find games through my own outreach. I've worked with Justin Woodward from The Mix. I really enjoy working with him. If you guys have never heard of the Media Indie Exchange, you should. You can put your games on there, and it's basically a networking event for press. GameSpot, IGN, Twitch, all go, and we look for games through there. For the last 3 years at E3, I've literally asked Justin to just send me 10 games from the Mix events, and we put them on E3, so it's worth doing. I seek out games on IGF, nominate your games, send them to award shows. If you get nominated, if you win, I'm looking at your games. I also look at Screenshot Saturday because I think it's really cute and I enjoy doing it. At the very least, I retweet everything I really like, so please do that. What are my goals in a live show? I want to keep my audience engaged. When I talk about a show on Twitch, what am I talking about? Twitch is a platform, everybody's streaming to it. I'm talking about the official company's live streams. So /Twitch, or the company Twitch, actually does a live show at most events, and we want to engage our audience. We want streamers to find out new games. I'm looking for interactivity. So now I'm specifically talking about Twitch as opposed to like GameSpot or IGN shows. Twitch is looking for interactive content. What separates us from other platforms is that the audience is literally a part of the show. We ask them for their participation. We want them involved. Why do we constantly keep playing Jackbox all the time? It's because the audience can be there, and we want that, and we like that. So we are looking for interactivity. It kind of increases just our interest in any games. My goal is to make streamers amazing, make them more powerful, more famous. We want them to succeed. Their success is our success. And we look very fondly on them as they progress, whether they do that on our channel or somewhere else, which is great. We want games that work on our platform. There are like genuinely things that just don't stream well. Sometimes VR is a good example of that. They're fantastic games. They just don't convey well to the audience at home sometimes, and sometimes they just don't work out. Also, just on a personal note, technically, sometimes I don't want to deal with it. It's really tough. Streaming comes with all such technical hurdles on a live show. We can't be late. I can't delay my live show for 30 minutes because we had a problem with a VR connection. If it doesn't work, we will literally move on, and that sucks. When I'm scheduling a live show, especially something like E3, we're scheduling many games. I'm looking for a blend of genres, styles, studio, and more. If there's a bunch of shooters that season, then I'm going to be looking for an RPG to mix it up. I'm going to be looking for a story-driven adventure to mix it up. I don't want all the same game. It gets old. Schedule works for everyone. It is almost nearly impossible to do. I have to make some tough choices. Quite often, when I'm scheduling a show like E3, Nintendo will just not give me the names of the games. They will tell me how much time they need, and they will tell me what times work, and I can deal with it. That's how some of them can be, and that's my job, is to work around their schedule. So the beauty of that is that after we schedule in some major people, we just get these little gaps, maybe like a 15-minute gap, and that's perfect for me to seek out a game and slot it in. Maybe someone who's never been on the show, or somebody who is looking for that next step, so that's great to do. I am looking at my audience. We're live. We pay attention to active CCs or concurrent. If the CC drops, I'm aware of it. I know what happened, and I know when it suddenly raises too. So we're looking for that immediate feedback. When someone reaches out to me, I want to know the genre, a 1 to 2 sentence summary of your game. I want to see a trailer or an image or at least a GIF. Give me something. Give me a visual of some kind, please. I need to know when it comes out. If it's not coming out for the next year, it's going to be very difficult for me to help you. For the company, I want to know, what did the devs make before? Did anyone come from an interesting studio that might have made something that I fell in love with 5 years ago? I want to know that. Do they have a good pedigree? What did the company make before? Is anyone available to talk about it on the show? Ideas that you guys have for me. Does it have local co-op? Is it perfect for a competition that I was planning, that you guys didn't know that I was planning? But think about those types of things, right? Other things I really like are announcements. You have a brand new launch trailer. You want to announce your launch date on my show. I would love to know those things. That's it. Things to do and things to avoid. I want the facts. I don't like hype language. I don't like when people give me like 8 descriptors that don't mean much. I read a lot of emails about hype for their games. I will skim it. I will look for genre. I will look for release date. I will look for that 1-sentence summary. That kind of goes into 2, which is respect people's time. Keep your email concise. Just go with what needs to be said. Hook me first, and then let's talk about like the cool stuff. Offer a visual. Specifically, what I mean by that is I want gameplay. Animated intros are sweet and they're cool, but if I don't see gameplay, I can't trust that you guys are selling me on like the real thing, right? I need to see what I'm going to be playing. What are my streamers going to be playing? And avoid a bunch of graphic over your stuff. That seems to be like a popular trend now, is to like chuck a bunch of graphics that are like, you're not gonna believe there's 4,000 levels, but it's like, let me see it, and then we'll talk about how many levels there are. Remember the release info. It happens a lot that people send me something and we actually have a good cadence going and I'm excited about it, and then they tell me that they're not sure when it's gonna come out. That sucks. I can't help you yet. You know, I need, our streamers want direct feedback. What we find for streamers is that they literally want to go pre-order the game. They want to sign up for a mailing list. They want to be involved. They want to go follow the channel, the Twitter, whatever. If they can't do those things, it's gone. That can change for different places, like something like a place like IGN. That article can live in infamy and it can help you forever. On Twitch, it's now. It's about what's happening right now and getting that engagement. This is an example of a good email that I enjoy. I tried to remove things that explicitly say what happened. If you're a really good sleuther, you could probably figure out who sent me this email, and good for you. I'm not gonna worry about it too much. Look at all these great pieces of information in 2 tiny paragraphs. I'm working with who. This is where they're from. This is the dev history. They made this game. This was the lead programmer of another game that you probably liked. Here's when they will be able to show the new game, which is a genre, and it launches on this date. What a beautiful, beautiful, shoved amount of information in those 2 sentences. I got it all. This new game gives me a sentence about the genre, just all the platforms that it's on. And then I get a nice short description, and then a link to a trailer, which I watched and enjoyed very much. Look at this, no pressure, and being polite at the end, never hurt nobody. I enjoyed this email. Practical tips for talking to me. We don't work in a silo. I have to get content approved. What some of the bummer about what we do for a living is that I am not the queen of what goes on Twitch. I have to get it approved. Oftentimes, I will say, here's 8 games that I think are great, and 2 of them will get in. That sucks. It's good for you to understand that even though we have a really good dynamic, and I've agreed that this is a good game, it might not fit. And that's unfortunate, but you have to be understanding that there's so many things that go into this, and we don't work in a silo. There's a lot of people trying to get a lot of things done at the same time. Don't assume. Please get confirmation and get the details. Something that happens a lot is that people think that the live time is when they need to show up. No, you have to be there 20 minutes early because it's live, and if you're late, then you don't get on. So confirm, place, time, all that stuff. And I'll do my best to give that stuff to you. Respond quickly, but be patient. I hate saying that. It's kind of like hurry up and wait, but that's the truth, because I'm the one who has to go towards 8 levels and get it approved and slot it in a schedule and then get that schedule approved and then come back to you and say you have 1 hour to let me know if this is okay. That happens. There's often times as well where something gets canceled, which means I get 24 hours to fill the slot. It's super fun for everyone involved. I love your ideas. I said this earlier. Please share them with me. Tell me that you have an idea and you think it might work well for my live show. It might. Things don't always line up, but we can always try and try again. So let's continue to work together. And it's not rude to ping me. Sometimes I genuinely do forget, and that's okay. If it's been a weird amount of time, just be like, hey, I'm still here. And I'll be like, oh, shit, and I'll fix it. Frequently asked questions. Can I cold call or email? I don't think it's a great idea. I get those sometimes on different sites, and they typically go to the bottom of my priority list. Then how can I do it? Well, I think it's great to use any of the PR people that I've sent to you guys. Look up your PR people. They're wonderful to work with. I also seek out games. Networking and the mix and nominating, like sending in your game for awards, great way to get recognized by us. So please do those things. Anything that helps get my game on Twitch, yeah. Twitch-specific features, anything that works specifically within an interactive audience, we like that stuff. Ooh, we like that stuff on our platform very, very much. I want my game image on Twitch. I get this all the time. We steal our images from giantbomb.com, who has the catalog. You can go to that website right there to start the process to get your game image on Twitch. Do it before you launch, for God's sakes, because so many times it's a little question mark when your game launches and it upsets everybody. So you want to do it in advance. Should I stream my game? Yes, I would love for you to stream your own game. We often actually encourage that right now. We have a line for developers to work and network on Twitch, and we try to feature streamers who did so, like William Scher, who streams his game almost 5 days a week. And it's very good. You should check it out. That's it. Typically, no, obviously this does depend on the emergency nature of it, right? If the event is in a week, 3 working days seems like an aid, forever, right? Sometimes people ping me a month and a half or 2 months before an event. It's just too much time. It hasn't occurred yet. I haven't started the planning process. I say, if I haven't gotten back to you in a week, you can ping me. That doesn't bother me at all. That seems weird. And if the event is like really soon, a couple working days is also reasonable. If it's like coming up, don't be afraid. It doesn't bother me. I'd rather be safe than sorry. Yes?
Do you find value in meets statements, or does that fall under hype for you?
Meets.
Yeah, like my game is a cat lady meets world next door.
Right. Yeah, okay, so the question is do you like it when you say that you're comparing this game with this game? And this is a double-edged sword. I think the answer is, wow, that's such an easy way for me to associate your game with another game, and that's good because I like that. At the same time, if it's not truthful, if you're just like genuinely saying like our game is a total, I don't know, I can't think off the top of my head, but if you're just comparing it to a random game because it did really well, but if I see your gameplay trailer and it's nothing like that, that would bother me, that would deter me very much. So I think it's best to focus on your genre itself, like saying that it's an RPG or a roguelike is really nice, and then if it has specific elements from a game and you feel confident that it really does have specific elements from said game, you could say that to me, and I would pick up on it. If you're, I would be careful doing it and making sure that you actually are identifying with that game. It's a very clear line. Also, it can be problematic if you're literally doing the same thing that game did, right? Because I don't want to have a duplicate game. So it's interesting. It's probably not a very good answer. I would say to use it sparingly. Yes?
So when you say you encourage developers to stream their developments, do you mean, here's the new features we have this month, or do you mean live coding?
Both, yeah. I think we have a lot of major publishers. In fact, Destiny was one who like pushed really hard. Every time they had a new update to Destiny, they would go live and the developers would talk about the update and they would show you where everything was, and everybody really enjoyed that. And there was a really good feedback system that the community got. They built their community on Twitch because they could get live feedback from the chat about whether or not the update was good. I think it's great for community building. William Cheer, that example that I gave earlier, he literally just streams his coding. And it's really fascinating to watch. We do encourage those types of things. I can understand that it's dry for some people, but we find that developers often like looking at other people coding. It's kind of zen and chill. So it's not just for artists streaming their art. You can actually stream live coding if you want. That's something we encourage and like. Sweet. That's it for me.